Hello everyone, my name is Braden, this is Airless Quill 9, and in today's video I have a few things I want to go over with you guys. The first thing that I want to look at is all the new action options that will appear in the 2024 Player's Handbook. As you can see here, I've compiled a nice tidy list of the actions available in the 2024 Player's Handbook. And those actions are the attack action, the dash action, the disengage action, the dodge action, the help action, the hide action, the influence action, the magic action, the ready action, the search action, the study action, and the utilize action. Some of these are very familiar, and others are completely new to the game. I think at least 4 of them are new. At least at least what they're called is new. And yeah, let's get into it. We're starting with actions. There are a couple other things that we're looking at today, but we're starting with these actions. So attack is very easy to understand. The attack action is just when you make an attack with a weapon or an armed strike. The dash action gives you extra movement equal to your speed for the rest of your turn when you take it. The disengage action lets you not provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of your turn when you move. The dodge action, until the start of your next turn, you impose disadvantage on attack rolls against you, and you make dexterity saving throws with advantage. It does specify that you lose this benefit if you have the incapacitated condition or if your speed becomes 0, so do keep that in mind. The help action, you help a creature's ability score or attack roll, or you can administer first aid, such as with a healer's kit. The hide action is you just make a dexterity stealth check. We will look into this a little bit more in depth because the rules concerning hide have changed. Influence, this is a new action option. The influence action is when allows you to make a charisma, deception, intimidation, performance, or persuasion check, or a wisdom animal handling check to alter a creature's attitude. So that's interesting there. The magic action. This action encompasses casting a spell, using a magic item, or using a magical feature. Some class features specify that they use a magic action to activate. The ready action. You prepare an action to take in response to a trigger that you define. This should be familiar with current 5th edition players. The search action, you make a wisdom, insight, medicine, perception, or survival check. So there's that. And the study action, you make an intelligence, arcana, history, investigation, nature, or religion check. That's interesting there. And then the last action is the utilize action, which is where you use a non-magical object. So those are all the different actions that you can take now in Dungeons and Dragons. So the hide action here is slightly changed. First of all, you take the hide action on your turn. When you do so, you have to succeed on a DC 15 dexterity stealth check. You need to be heavily obscured or behind 3/4 cover or total cover when you do so, and you have to be out of the enemy's line of sight. Thankfully, you can discern whether or not a creature can see you as long as you can see the creature. If you succeed on the check, which is that DC 15, you gain the invisible condition. You also need to make note of your check's total because that becomes the DC for other creatures to find you with a wisdom perception check. Uh, the invisible condition ends on you immediately after you make a sound louder than a whisper. An enemy discovers you. You make an attack roll or you cast a spell with a verbal component. So this is slightly different. It is much more simplified than the original use of hide action. Now it's very clear. I like that it's very clear whether or not a character succeeds on a stealth check or not. And then all you're doing here is making a DC for creatures to find you once you do so. Also, now that you have the invisible condition, when you succeed on a hide action, it makes it very clear that you have advantage on your attack rolls. So they've just cleaned this up so it's very, very clear the benefits that you gain while you're hidden, which I do like. So a couple other things that they have clarified in here. So inspiration is no longer just inspiration. There's multiple types of inspiration in the game now. There's bardic inspiration, which the bard has access to, and then what was just called inspiration is now referred to as heroic inspiration. However, it has seen some changes. So when you have heroic inspiration, you can expend it to re-roll any die immediately after rolling it and use the new roll. This does not limit itself just to d20 rolls. This can be any die roll. So if you roll very poorly on a damage for an attack, you could use heroic inspiration to re-roll the damage. It just gives a lot more flexibility. It is only one die that you're re-rolling, but the flexibility from it is rather nice. Also, if you gain heroic inspiration while you already have it, you can give the heroic inspiration that you would have gained to another player character that doesn't have it. So that's pretty nice there. I do like that last part. Spellcasting rules have changed. So there is no bonus action spell rule anymore. Instead, there is this new rule called one spell with a spell slot per turn. On a turn, you can expend only one spell slot to cast a spell. This means that you can't, for example, cast a spell with a spell slot using the magic action, or another one using a bonus action on the same turn. What this does mean, though, is, for example, if you have a class feature that gives you a free casting of a spell that doesn't expend a spell slot, on your turn, or on the same turn, you could cast another spell that expends a spell slot, as long as you have the ability to do so. This is very good. It does clean up that bonus action spell rule by just taking out completely and making it simplified. This also provides a lot of versatility as well, because this means that, this is going to work very well for spellcasters. Some examples that I can think of off the top of my head is the new Archfey Patron. They have free uses of Misty Step that they can do. So since they can cast Misty Step with that feature without expending a spell slot, you can also, on the same turn, use your action to actually expend a spell slot and cast a spell, which is very nice. Other things I can think of off the top of my head is paladins. You could cast your find steed or summon steed. At 5th level you get a free casting of Summon Steed, I think is what the spell's name is. So you could use your action to cast that, and then as your bonus action, you could cast a bonus action spell with a spell slot, or any other bonus action technically. Illusion Wizards, they get a free casting of Conjure Beast and Conjure. I want to say Conjure Fae, I believe. I know it's at least Conjure Beast. There's one other Conjure spell they get, but they have a special feature where they can cast those for free without expending a spell slot and make it an illusion spell. But that means that you could technically cast that spell as your action without expending a spell slot for free, and then as your bonus action, you could cast a spell with a spell slot. Like you could summon your creature and then Misty Step out of the way with a spell slot, or some other type. So this just expands on some of the versatility that you can do on your turn, which is really, really cool. And the last two things I want to talk about in this video are Bloodied and Surprise. So Bloodied is interesting. It kind of functions as a condition, but there aren't really any mechanical benefits to it. All that Bloodied means is that a creature has half its hit points or fewer remaining. So it's really just it's just a terminology, and as far as I'm aware, it only pops up 3 times in the player's handbook. And really it's just a abbreviation of this part. It is from older rule books, like Bloodied. I know for sure is in 4th edition, but yeah, it's just a terminology. I do like that it's here because Bloodied has some interesting uses. I know that the new boar, the new stat block for the boar, they get advantage on attack rolls when they're bloodied, so that's kind of neat. So yeah, this is just a thing that exists now, and I'm sure it will. The fact that they've added it in makes me believe that it will appear in a few monster stat blocks for sure. But we won't know for sure until the monster manual comes out next year. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about here is Surprise. So Surprise inflicts an effect on creatures. So there's no longer a surprise round anymore. When a combat starts and a combatant is surprised, all it does is inflict disadvantage on their initiative roll. This is very simple to employ, but this will speed up combat quite a bit. The fact that there's no longer a surprise round, it just imposes disadvantage on initiative roll, and this actually pairs very nice because the invincible condition now provides advantage on initiative rolls. So, hiding and getting advantage on initiative rolls, and then surprising creatures giving them disadvantage on initiative rolls. There's a nice juxtaposition between those two things. So I do like the changes here. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. Kind of a short video, but just wanted to get these terminologies out here for you all to look at and discuss and give some thoughts on. So yeah, tell me what's interesting to you. Which one of these action options are you most interested in? I think the influence, search, and study are fairly interesting options now. Or at least I like that there's a terminology for these specific things that we've been doing for years in Dungeons and Dragons now. But yeah, give me your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I will get some more content out this week and all the weeks following. um, as we get more information on the Player's Handbook coming out this year. Until then, I hope you all have a great day, and I will catch you all later. See ya.